up, nerds? I'm just realizing I didn't pull my hat down.
Fine.
I look like a whaler. You know?
Is that what they call them? You're like,
right?
Is that they roll them up and they're a whaler? No,
yeah, the Alaskan whalers.
No,
the Alaskan whalers. They used to
look at that slick back hair.
Oh baby, it's cold here. It's 29 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's 28 degrees here Fahrenheit.
Okay, well, it's not a competition. Okay.
Well, I think I'm winning or something. What's
you're farther north than I am, so
just barely. Yeah. Hey everyone, it's evening. It's not morning. It's Matt and Bubba, and well, we're hanging out in the evening because why not, right? Well, that's not the only reason, but why not, right?
Yeah. What do you guys think? This is I don't know. This is necessarily something that we'll do often because Matt and I really enjoy having our evenings with our families when we can. But tonight is a very special night. Very special night. We are getting ready for the Megazord documentary that is airing tonight. And we're going to talk about Megazord and what it is and why it's important and why you guys should care about it. Or not care about it, I guess. I don't know.
You should. Hey, don't even give him the option. You have to.
Oh, okay. Well, then you had absolutely better. Pastor Savage, what's going on? Library night. I see you. Lightwave. Good to see you.
Oh man, I will take the cold any old day. Like any old day. Oh man.
My son, Caleb. I was actually thinking, I was like, what is he to you, Matt? It's a human person in time and space. Okay. He calls you Uncle Matt.
Yeah.
So you can be his cousin. All right. Don't be his cousin. You can be his uncle.
Okay. Which is it?
And so he had to write an opinion piece for school yesterday on would you rather experience a heat wave or a polar vortex?
Oh, what did he say? Polar vortex?
What do you think he chose?
Probably heat wave. I mean, Texas people and whatnot. Like, I don't know, but I guess he's tricksy. He can go either way. I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say polar vortex.
Negative, Ghost Rider. He said heat wave. He said heat wave.
How many degrees?
And all of them, all the degrees. And what he chose was heat wave because his reasoning was actually pretty interesting because he said he could do more things with his friends. And during a heat wave, you can go and get ice cream and have popsicles, and you can't do that during a polar vortex.
Oh, well, I've got some news for him. You can do those things in a polar vortex.
You wish.
In fact, it's encouraged.
No, he was writing the law. He wrote the law.
I'm telling you, when it's hot and like there's this like massive heat wave, this is not what we decided to talk about before we went live. But when it's hot and there's a massive heat wave, I do not want to go outside. I will stay inside all day long. If you want to do something outside, I'm not interested. I would rather keep all of my sweat in my body for what it's worth.
Okay. Yeah, much appreciated.
And with a polar vortex or cold weather, like you can go sledding, you can go ice skating, you can go and just do like skiing if that's your thing. Like all these wonderful things outside, and then you can come inside. You can sit by a fire. And you can put a blanket on, and you'll be warm. And you're wearing warm clothes. Like I can only take off so many layers during the heat wave before it's indecent. So,
but you're at home. You're by yourself. Who cares?
You get Caleb in here. I need to talk to him.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get him on the horn here.
Word for him.
Yeah. Dial him in.
Oh man. Not interested in the heat.
Lightwave, where are you? Just generally speaking, you don't have to dox yourself, but just like,
what's your exact address?
I grew up in New Mexico, eastern New Mexico specifically, and it was hot winds and cold winds, but just wind, no humidity whatsoever. Because
the wind blew the humidity out of there.
Yeah, it couldn't hang.
Southern
Arizona. Okay. How southern? Because like my dad, now, what's your street address? Let's just get to it. Now, like My dad lives in southern Arizona, and he Matt, did you know this? I feel like we talked about this before.
Yeah, your
Arizona
dad's brother
has monsoon season.
Really?
Yeah.
How much rain?
Enough that like it's because like it's all the stuff that's coming up from the what is it called?
The Gulf of Mexico?
No. It's California, Pacific Ocean. So it's all coming up. Yeah, tons of rain. It's ridiculous. Like it'll just be like, hey, you live in a desert? Now everybody swims everywhere you go because there's so much rain.
Well, I will just say that I am so happy for you people who live in that area of the country. I'm just so happy for you. But that, to me, it's not appealing. But hey, I get it. People like different things. And for me, I like cold weather, and I wish it was colder. Like when we had like just a few weeks ago, when we had like minus 28 wind chill or whatever, I was like, oh, I love this. Colder, please.
I'm sorry, wind chill? No, thank you. No,
like it felt like minus 28 out there, and those days, I would go out onto my porch with my bare feet and my t-shirt on, and just like and live.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I loved it so much.
So here's what we have to know about Matt. Matt is a Michiganian.
No. Michigander.
Michigan.
Like a goose.
Take a Michigander at it over there. Matt's from Michigan.
They really are called They're either Michiganders or Michigangsters. It's your choice.
Michigangsters. I'm going to go with Michigangster. Here's the thing. Even, library in the chat, Michigander, Bubba. Nobody knows that.
What are you down in Texas? Texites?
Yeah, we call it right.
Yeah,
what are we down here? We're right.
Texaganders.
Come and take iters. Yeah.
Come and take iters. Well, I'm happy.
Hoosiers, I know Hoosiers. Yeah.
Yeah, Hoosier Daddy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually know why we're called Hoosiers here in the lovely land of Indiana. We just moved across the river from Kentucky, and they were Kentucky
horse riders.
Horsians.
Southerners. That's what they are in Kentucky.
Hey, can I tell you one of my biggest pet peeves is, and then we can do whatever the heck you want after this, okay? I don't know. I'm not sure why this is one of my pet peeves. It's stupid. It's stupid, and I'm admitting it to you and to everyone here and to God's ears. It's stupid. But when people combine states, like
Texarkana,
I don't like it. But what I really don't like is what they do in these parts. Like all of our news stations are in Louisville, like right across the river. And so that's it's their prerogative to call whatever they want, but they call it Kentuckiana. No,
you don't like that?
I don't like it at all. I don't know.
Why? You live in one and you're basically from the other. What does it matter?
It makes me feel gross, okay? It makes me feel
left
gross.
it behind and now they're trying to bring it back.
Yeah, library night. It's actually an I instead of the Y because they want to make sure they mash them up nice and good.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Kentuckiana. I kind of like it.
I don't.
I'm sorry.
I don't like it at all. I told you it's stupid. I just don't.
I like a good wordplay,
What do you? What's your pet peeve? Let's hear it.
My pet peeve was just one.
Just you get one.
It's people that don't like when they mash up two states together.
Well, that's the whatever we're doing, everybody. I'll see you. Good night. Turn the lights off.
No, so when I lived in New Mexico.
Get out of here. Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Gross.
What are the other ones we can do that with?
No, Frost. I would say Indiaki. That's what I would do. Indiaki.
Oh, Indiaki. Who do we need? Hey, draft a letter to your senator right now, your local congressperson.
Indiaki, please. Try Ohio, Indiana. Let's see.
Indioho.
Indioho.
Indio.
Or
Oeana.
Odiana.
It's Oeana.
Flororgia. Oh god, dude, these are awful. These are
Florida,
so
Florida.
awful. Florida.
They got around that one by just saying it's the Florida Georgia line. Just
Yeah, see, Kyle, you're right. You're doing it exactly right. Carolinas, they're good. They're not trying to make anything crazy. You're not
the
like
Dakotas.
North Carolina. So,
No, you could just say North Dakota,
I know. Hey, I get it.
and that's already a mashup.
The Dakotas, the Carolinas. I don't know if you're allowed to do that with Virginias. I feel like regular Virginia doesn't really like West Virginia. I don't actually know.
Well, one of them's got mountain mamas, and so you got to respect mountain mamas.
Florida.
I love Florida. Florida.
Florida. They're so bad. Oh, they're so bad.
Come on down to Florida.
Well, I'm glad. It's finally. It's good to get that off my chest. Finally, after all these years, just been holding on to it. You know, Washington, Oregon,
Washington,
Orgashington. I like Orgashington.
Yeah, I like Washington, Oregon.
No, I don't like.
Weird. I changed my mind. I'm a Florida guy myself.
Big Florida fan.
Florida man.
Oh man. Hey, if you've never been a part of a Matt and Bubba in the morning / evening / Bubba and I also do the Free Play podcast. Honestly, anytime the two of us, plus or minus Kate, this is pretty much what you're going to get. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, with mixed in some good stuff. We'll say. So,
well, let's not promise anything.
Oh, what's that do?
What'd you click?
I just am seeing some new buttons on Twitch. There's just one that says react. Funny.
Oh, I have no idea.
Funny. I did it.
Hey, Justin, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. What we're really doing here is we're just killing a little bit of time, doing a little bit of hangout with you all, because as we mentioned before, there is a documentary that's coming out. And the documentary is based on an event that we had in October of last year called the Megazord Summit. And this was put on by our good friends at Lux Digital Church. And they invited us not just to be a part of it, but to also help them actually put it on. And it was phenomenal. It was really good.
Sorry, chat's making me laugh. Stop it.
Florida.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. And
Florida on my mind, absolutely.
Always on my mind. I can't believe how long ago that was, Bubba. Like it seems like only yesterday, but then at the same time, it's like months ago at this point. So.
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't that long ago, but it was 1 million years ago at the same time.
Right, that was right during our busiest times of the entire year.
It was gnarly.
But I'm super glad that we were able to go. I'm super glad we were able to be a part of it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, man.
The devil went down to Florida. Oh, my gosh.
Boat.
Oh, man.
I'm just glad to know there's one worse than Kentuckiana or Indiaki. Oh, man.
Kalavata? Hey, Kalavata. That one's got some legs.
Oh, yeah. It reminds me of kind of like an olive or something. Just ignore that noise for a second, okay?
On a midnight boat to Florida.
So it was during our
this is great
busiest month of all of last year. We had LTN Con. I went to Essen in Germany just earlier that month, and then we had Megazord, and then you did something after that, right?
You brought me back this beauty right here.
Oh, Bubba told me if I'm going to Essen, I had to pick this up for him and mail it because he couldn't find it anywhere. I'm guessing now you can probably find it anywhere.
Yep, yeah. Walmart.com, I'm sure.
New Mexico. Oh, man. New Mexico.
Mexico, Utah? It's not near Utah, is it? I guess it is. That's the other corner.
Yes.
Yeah, what did I do? Oh, I went to Florida the weekend after, or the week after. Yeah, Florida. I went to go to a global gaming and esports summit. It's another movement, right? And so it was a really busy time for us, and to be able to give the time and energy and effort to things, It was difficult. I mean, real talk. We didn't have the time, we didn't have the energy, and we did not have the effort like going into it to be able to do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got there, it was a much different thing. Some of us engaged wholeheartedly, and others of us decided to have our eardrums explode. And I'll let you decide who was who.
Oh, who would dream of doing that? No, that was a rough time for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the weekend, but there were a few times where I had to like just step away, because if you've never had ear trouble in all of your life, I hope you never have it. Like, imagine all of the sound from a large group of people going into one ear hole. It's overwhelming. My ear was just, there's nothing. I couldn't hear a bit out of it. So it was just a little bit too much for me. It was, people got hyped. It was
gooping.
It was gooping. I had to put cotton swabs in it. But overall, like, when the sessions were wonderful, when it got loud, I was like, no.
You went upstairs and laid down.
I had to, man. Oh, it was bad. But hey, just good news. It's better now. Mm-hmm. And I can hear out of it, and it's not gooping. There's no infections, and the eardrum is healed. But my body, you turn 40 and your body wants to break itself. So,
yeah, oh lordy.
I know, lordy, look who's 40, and their body's falling apart. So that same month, I actually got tripped in hockey. This guy, I made him mad. He tripped me from behind. I fell on my hand. Didn't really think anything of it. Didn't stop playing. I think I scored a goal in that shift. Like, no, like,
yeah, it was great.
It was great. Didn't think of anything about it. But progressively from that point, like, this kept getting worse, and worse. And I finally was like, okay, I need to go get an x-ray. And I went and got an x-ray, and they're like, yeah, it's not broken. Well, okay, first they're like, it sounds like it's broken. Everything you're telling me is like, I'm just going to go get this x-ray, and I'm going to come back and tell you it's broken. And I was like, I've never had a broken bone.
I'll be right back with broken. Yeah.
I was like, I never had a broken bone before. Honestly, it would be good to know, like, just so I can heal. Nothing. Wasn't broken. Went another like month before I can get into a hand specialist, and they did an MRI, and they're like, oh yeah, you have a torn ligament in your hand and a partially torn ligament in your hand, and there's fluid buildup. I don't know if I told you this, Bubba. Okay, so there's a fully torn ligament right here. This is also not what we're going to talk about tonight, but we're doing it anyways.
Oh, you're not wearing your brace.
I just took it off. It's getting sweaty in here.
Oh, okay, okay.
I still have like full movement. It's just if I try to throw anything, it's like super weak, and I have like my grip strength is kind of low. So anyways, fully torn on the side, and then what they said chronically partially torn right here on top of my hand, which means that it's been torn for some time.
Got it. Okay.
So there's scar tissue on it. So there's also fluid built up. So what they're going to do is do a surgery, and they're going to stick a camera down in my wrist to make sure it's actually broken first. And then they're going to fix the broken one, the ripped one. And then they're going to test my joints and see how bad the other one is. And if that one's bad, just while they're in there, going to sew that one back on too. And here's the catch of all of it. Yeah,
I know. I mean,
well, it's fine. I just feel like you
just stay off of our lawn. That's all we ask. Okay.
Here's the thing, and we can go back to talking about Megazord in a minute. But if this doesn't fix it, and this is something I've never heard of, they have to go in and shorten my ulna. That's a bone. They have to go in and cut part of my bone off.
Shorten it.
How
can it do that?
Yes. I don't know. They told me. That's what they're like. Yeah, if this doesn't work, that's kind of the next step. I was like, let's not. How about let's not do that? Hook hand, please.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's hook or bust.
So I have surgery at the end of February, and then
I'm still tripping out after. Like, where are they going to shorten it though?
I'm gonna suppose they'd shorten it like right where it attaches.
So the ulna it's on the outside, right? Because the radius, I'm guessing, is the one that
moves over. Yeah, it would be the outside one. So they would cut the top of it down and just like make it. This is gross. I don't really ever
Hey,
want.
Junior Wags, what's going on? Thray, we see you. What's hey?
Hey,
Brother Mod?
Brother Mod, when I was in there, Brother Mod told me a really gross story about his ligament one time at LTN Con. Speaking of LTN Con, and how his and his finger also ripped, and he didn't get it fixed, and so his finger, I can't do it. It's like this. Like, it's fine. It doesn't hurt him, but like I looked and on the poster, it's called anvil finger.
Oh,
because you're like, I don't know.
Anvil finger?
I hope you're okay, Brother Mod. You can shorten anything with enough sandpaper ink, man. Get out of here. No, thank you.
But how do you? What are they reattaching it with? And also,
Super glue.
How do you? Wouldn't they have to shorten both of them?
No, because they want to make it so it's like, I'm guessing it's probably too much this way. So if they shorten it, it'll pull it straighter. These are really great questions. If there's a doctor in the house, like, can you just pop in the chat and like let me know like what's
you just
going
put a
on?
rubber band in there?
I honestly just tried to avoid it. But here I am, surgery. Anyways,
hey, library, just write a paper about this. It's fine. Any day that includes the words bone saw is generally not ideal.
Brother Mod, thank you.
Yeah.
But I guess it's too much. My ulna's too much. Cut it shorter.
It's way too much. It's Mr. Ulna to you.
Yeah. Hey, so anyways, we weren't talking about ulnas or any of that stuff, but it just kind of came up.
No,
but
oddly enough, it never came up at Megazord. That's weird.
Well, we were talking about how my ear exploded at Megazord. So
yeah.
We met, Bubba, why don't you kind of give it a general idea? I don't want to ruin the documentary because I want to make sure people.
Spoilers? You guys want spoilers?
Can you give an overall idea of what the weekend was?
Yeah, absolutely. So the summit was designed to bring together Christian content creators. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that for this past year was created mainly of streamers, right? Now that there's a wide variety of people that fit the Christian content creator subset, but that's kind of where we wanted to start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was really good because the whole idea was focused around unity. And you'll hear that throughout the documentary and in all the promotional stuff. Unity, unity, unity. I want to bring people together instead of us just constantly fighting, which is not something that we were actively doing. But turf war is a thing that exists.
Absolutely. I just
whether
think
you want it to or not.
And it's not like we were actively don't go support so and so, or don't watch their stuff because it's not good or whatever. But there definitely was this unspoken desire to be the best, and I think that's a very that's a weird human trait where we want to be recognized as being the best at something, anything really, all the things. And so I think going into this weekend, we weren't sure what to expect in some regards. Well, one, we were tired and my ear was breaking, but
bro, we were zapped. We were coming off the heels of LTN Con.
It was days later we left. So
yeah, legitimately speaking, I flew in for LTN Con Wednesday of the previous week.
Tuesday
of the previous
evening.
week.
Yep.
And then that weekend we had LTN Con. I stayed an entire week after that, and we left on Friday for Megazord. Mm-hmm. And so we were toast.
I think we left on Thursday.
Whenever
we left. Well,
if you, I bet you're one of those people that believes that time is linear too, huh?
Or the Earth is flat.
But anyway, we were just absolutely zapped. Matt had 1 billion people at his house. And then honestly, we did a trunk or treat the following weekend. And it was just there was a lot of stuff going on top of family stuff and, being away from my family and battling sickness.
This area for.
Yeah. I have Indiana citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indiaki. Yeah.
Indiaki.
Brother Mod, I think we finally just finished that. We put it in the freezer for a long time. We just made a soup out of it.
Didn't you? You sent. You posted something just the other day that was like, "Yep, there's still tacos." I think
we still have 2 bags left. We actually gave some away too. We're like, eat it up. Well, we were not talking about all my ailments, but during that time, I also found I have high blood pressure, so I need to be careful of my salt intake.
Yeah, Matt's rebooted the $6 million.
I blame those tacos right there.
That's what happened. It dried you up.
It dried me right up.
But we went into it, and it ended up being like really good, because here's the deal. There's a lot of us in the space that have been in the same space for many moons, many years. God Squad Church and us, that's a big one. Honestly, when we were back in the olden days before LTN existed, we're celebrating our 5-year coming up in March. Pretty excited about that. But I think it's a national holiday.
Pre-K.
Yeah, so yeah, pre-K. We've been in the same space for so long. Before we were LTN, we were Game Church, and so we had Game Church and God Squad Church. And those, honestly, it was a misunderstanding and representation of what it is that we did, because Game Church was not a church. It was never designed to be a church. It's not a church now. Like that was not what it was going to be ever. It was designed to be a mission, but that was the name that was chosen. And so it kind of almost immediately put us at odds with other people in that space, because if you think about it right now, Rigger, thank you for those bits.
6 pence and none the richer.
Oh man,
Riches.
Yeah, that's my dibs. My dibs. But the thing of it is like, we weren't necessarily like foes, but even if like right now you just look and you're like, oh hey, I know that person and that person, I watch their stream and I'm all over, like, your attention is already divided. You may go and hang out with Aki, you may go and hang out with Jate, you may go and hang out, at Lux, you may do all these things with God Squad, whatever. Not to mention all of the other people that were there that have space, that are vying for your attention. We kind of got to the point with LTN where we were like, we're just not going to try and fight and argue and guilt trip people or anything like that. It's like, look, if you want to go and hang out with the people that we love, you be so imbued. You're released to go and do that. We want to find our way as an organization. We want to find our way to better love and serve our nerdy neighbors, and to encourage, equip, and empower people to do the same. Because if we, as Love Thy Nerd, are here to be the love of Jesus to nerds and nerd culture, that doesn't just mean us, right? Yep. That means we need to be able to find other people and help boost them to do that, right? And so this idea of unity, that's where Megazord comes from. Like, that's the whole thing.
Because Megazord, like Power Rangers, right? Yeah. Exactly
like Power Rangers, which actually stole it from Voltron. Can you believe that?
I freaking knew it.
Ridiculous.
How'd they do that?
But what we're trying to do is like show that things are better together. I was able to speak a couple of times, and one of the times that I did, I was talking about this idea of like, you may live in an area where there's like a church on every corner, right? And in some places that's just like, there's a lot of churches here. I lived in an area where there was literally a church on every corner for 6 blocks. It was nuts. One of them.
Go ahead.
No. You guys have something to say?
No, I was just
say it to my face.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Okay, all right.
I'm growing up. I'm wiser now.
Yeah, we'll just wait till they shorten that ulna, and then everything will change.
Oh man.
I literally was I was a youth pastor at a church in Odessa, Texas, that the back door, you could open one back door of a church and walk into the back door across a very small alley, like an easement alley, into another church. That's how close it was.
What kind of churches were they?
It was Christian churches for Jesus and stuff.
I mean, were they both like Southern Baptist or like both?
No. So one of them was the denomination was a Christian church, which I told them all the time I felt like that was pretentious. and then the other one was a Baptist church. And so they were not the same denomination, but at the same time, it was like, okay, well, that makes us uncomfortable because we feel like we're vying for the same people. But at the same time, we were in the middle of a neighborhood. Like there was a middle school just down the road. There was another elementary school literally down the other road. There were a billion people around us. And most of them were not being reached by the two churches that were right next to them.
Yep.
And it's not just like they didn't care about Jesus. They didn't want to come and hang out. It's like they literally were not. I was on staff. I can tell you for sure and for certain that we were not going and like ministering to those people that were in our immediate vicinity. And so that was what I brought to Megazord. I was like, hey, it may feel like, oh, we're streaming at the same time. Oh, we're taking all these people from each other. It's like, there are so many people out there. So many people. One internet's worth of people out there that need to hear that Jesus loves them. They need a space where they can hang out with somebody who A, loves Jesus and B, loves them. And so how do we encourage people to do that? And it was really great because we all got to hear the different ways that each of the people in ministries and stuff like that
at least
are working. Right? Yeah, well, you rounded up on that one. I appreciate that.
I honestly I think it's sad that we want to fight with other people for popularity, or that we even think like, well, we're doing this right. Like even like it happens with churches, it happens with streamers, it happens with like Christian content creators. So really going into that weekend and being able to put a face. That's weird because I say put a face, like a lot of them stream, so I know their faces. Like put a person with their personality, put a face in a person with a personality, like really get to know them and chat with them, and I don't know, it broke down a lot of those weird walls that like you don't even realize you're putting up. It's not like we ever had a conversation like, well, we've got to be better than them, and we're not going to send that. Like that's never anything we did, but it's just like this mentality of trying to be the biggest and best. So going in there like and seeing all this great stuff that they're doing and how they're doing it and how we can all complement each other and encourage each other and lift each other up, because like a Megazord unit, like if you think about it, you never see Pterodactyl for very long fighting a battle by itself. Like it's not going to last. And then you need the Power Rangers to say, we need Megazord power now. And
that's right.
All come together.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to beat the big eye monster or the giant pig or whatever, like you gotta,
for sure,
you gotta match the intensity, right?
You're making me look up Luke 9:46 here because it's not one I haven't memorized. An argument started among the disciples as to which of them would be greatest. Okay, yep, there you go. So we didn't want to argue. I went into like I don't care, and I think that really like we left that weekend seeing like we don't need to have the number one Twitch channel, we don't need to have the number one YouTube channel, but like really, and we've talked about this like in many other ways, like we just want to build relationships with people, love them well, and let them know Jesus loves them, and then go from there. Like we really do want to let you know about Jesus, like the gospel beyond that. Like we can say Jesus loves you, that's good, but there's more to that as well. So being able to build relationships and being able to speak truth into your life, everyone's lives. So
yeah, like we've started to really understand and hone our purpose as an organization, I would say in the last year or so. What are the things excuse me, that we're trying to do? What are we trying to accomplish? And what's really crazy is we've put a lot of work into that. We have. And so when we went to Megazord, we talked about a lot of that stuff. And, the people that were there from Love Thy Nerd, and that represented Love Thy Nerd were Matt, myself, Luke, and Asia by extension, right? And so we were there. And Matt, Luke, and myself got to sit around and talk about what LTN is and kind of what we want it to be, what we feel like the mission is, and how to accomplish it. Like what was our one Who is the person that we are trying to actually reach? And so that was a really good exercise. Asia, speaking of the Asia, we got to see that from everybody else as well. Hey, who are you trying to reach?
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to do? And it was really good because we looked at that and was like, that's actually different than what we're trying to reach.
Yep.
Which is really cool, right? Like it doesn't need to be us. It doesn't need to be the thing that we do. I'm actually not interested in Love Thy Nerd being the organization that reaches everything. Mm-hmm. What we want to do, and we've talked about this a lot, this is kind of how we fit into the Megazord, as it were, is that, it's more the idea of like a vehicle, right? I look around at everybody else and all the things that they're doing, and if I'm being completely honest, I kind of have the mentality sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I could. You got a really round wheel over there. I'm not a big fan of reinventing the wheel, but if I needed to, I could probably make a wheel similar to that. That does basically the same thing. Okay. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be a tire shop. I'm not interested in Love Thy Nerd just having a bunch of things. What we've seen is that like Love Thy Nerd is more a vehicle because it is an organization. We have a staff of 6 people that are working in different areas of ministry. We've got a lot of things that we're doing on the national and the local and the global scale. Like there are things that we're doing. We're working with organizations all over the place. We're moving and shaking in areas that other people aren't. And that doesn't make us better than them, right? It just doesn't do that. What it does is it gives us a way to help to boost other people. And so we're trying to signal boost. We're trying to be a vehicle that those wheels can attach to, because a wheel that just sits there is completely a wheel that's inert, that doesn't do anything. It's useless. It really, you can go to any auto body shop and there's just a stack of tires doing jack and squat. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter that they were created, right? But you attach it to a vehicle and it gives it purpose and allows it to move forward. And so it's as best we can.
Like the body of Christ. It's like the body of Christ. Like,
yeah, but who's the hook hand? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, it's going to be me pretty soon. Thank you. Hey, real quick, Sunshine, hello. Junior Wags, thank you for those bits. We really appreciate that. Asia, the edit on the little your image here you made for us, Bubba did that like minutes before we went live, because we had a flash of inspiration. Like, we're not in the morning.
Yes.
We're in the evening here.
Matt and Bubba in the evening. Absolutely.
Our part of the world. So hey, you talked a little bit about like.
Please do. Asia, I just read that. Please do. Because Matt told me 4 minutes before we were going to go live, hey, you should make it nighttime. And so if you would like to do an evening edit, please do that.
I want a UFO. Okay, I want a UFO in the sky. I'm just kidding. I actually I did say after dark, but it may have been a little bit weird. So we went in the evening. So just for what it's worth. But you were talking about being kind of this vehicle and being able to signal boost and help equip. So after we left Megazord, we kind of had we chatted with the Lux people, with St. Bear, about kind of next steps. And I'm not trying to get too ahead of ourselves here. I want you to watch the documentary and see what happened there. But coming from that, we kind of came about this plan to do something for everybody. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's coming. How much do you want to say here, Bubba?
We can say really as much as you want.
How much do you want to say?
Oh yeah, how much do I want to say? As much as I want. Hey, Lady Foes, thank you so much for that sub. I do appreciate that. Kind of the thing that rolled out of this and out of LTN Con and out of all of the pillow talk with Matt and Bubba. Absolutely. Yeah, I like that one. We actually have a really good friend of ours that works for he works for a company called Sheets and Giggles. And exactly right. And he was like, hey, would you be willing to do a photo shoot? And nothing ever came of it, but I said yes.
You didn't ask me.
I volunteered you.
I have a bed.
Get out of here.
I know.
When did that happen?
Oh man, I've got a story, but I want you to finish yours first.
Is it a trundle bed? Because if it's not, then what's the point?
No.
Anyway,
it may have been better.
So what came out of all of this this time and over time, us thinking, Lady Foes, thank you so much for those bits.
Yeah, seriously, thank you.
All of the time that led up and the thought and the refocusing and all the stuff that we've been doing as an organization, it led to this point of basically the thing that tipped it over was Luke told me as I landed for LTNCon, he was like, hey man, I think that we should probably do 2 events. And I was like, okay, talk to me more about that, what you think. And he basically
I'm used to that. I was like, oh, it sounds like a lot of work right now. Can we talk about it later, please?
And so he basically pitched the idea that we had been talking about for a very long time, which was having an event that was geared towards growing and encouraging rather than just being a community event, which is great. We love those. We can't wait for LTNCon to come back in 2024. But we said, what if we did a thing where it was designed to helping people love and serve their nerdy neighbors better?
Yep.
And so it started to grow and grow and grow. And it's going to be a thing in November of this year. It's going to be here in Texas, where I live, in Marble Falls. And it's called the Nerd Culture Ministry Summit. We don't have graphics. We don't have all of that stuff. That's coming at the end of this month.
Yeah, Mabel, if you're able.
Yeah. So Saint Bear is helping with the planning of all that. He and Luke are doing the lion's share of the work, and it's going to be fantastic. We're excited about all the stuff that's going to be coming from that. But that was an idea to bring those people together to learn about nerd culture and nerd culture ministry, why it's important, and why they should at the very least consider having it a part of their repertoire of ministries that they do. And maybe even encouraging people to branch off and start new things in places that we can't go and we won't go. But we do want to encourage. And so at the same time, we were talking about all the Megazord stuff. And so that is going to be a piece of the Nerd Culture Ministry Summit as well, is we're still going to carry that the Megazord stuff into the future. And so how do we pour into people? I mean, we're still working on all that stuff, but we want to pour into them before the summit actually starts. And then we want those people, what do you mean by those people? Like the streamers and all that stuff, we want them to be panelists and breakouts and, people for other, ministry leaders to just talk to and ask questions of. That's what we want. But we have to be able to perpetuate the idea. And again, if we're a vehicle, we've got to, Gabiggin coming through with those 5 gifties.
Ooh-wee. Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
bro.
that.
Appreciate that. Will Pog, Icon Lady, Chill Canada, Mikesel, and Rosie.
Oh, happy
you guys
birthday, Mikesel.
Enjoy all of those freshly squeezed subs there, subbies. But so that's kind of like the unity is super important, because really what happened was we went from having this idea that it was like, hey, we're just going to, let's do the Love Thy Nerd Summit. Okay. Because we have a lot of information. We really do. We have a lot of knowledge and, we have things to teach you. We have techniques to teach you. But then we kind of peeled it back and we're like, hey, what if we didn't just make it a Love Thy Nerd thing? What if we actually stripped Love Thy Nerd from the headline and just made it a Nerd Culture Ministry Summit? And then what if we invited all of those wheels to be a part of this machine? How great could it be if that was the power behind it? And so that's what we were doing. We're trying to bring experts in this space of nerd culture ministry into one distilled space so that they can then train people specifically on nerd culture ministry. And it's not just, well, this is how LTN does it. It's like, hey, here's how Lux is doing it. Here's how God Squad's doing it. Here's how all of these people are doing things in their area and how you can do it too.
Yep. I'm excited. It's going to be here before we know it. Yeah, there's a lot of planning to do. I think you all that are watching here, and maybe if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, we're aiming for a mid to later February release, I guess, for you to be able to sign up and start making some plans to be there.
I think February 20th is the day that we're kind of launching it. And we're gearing it towards like Texas ministries. And I say ministries, it's like, it could be Boys and Girls Club. It could be YMCA. It could be whatever. Like, it could be local municipal stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to just be churches and religious organizations, because nerds need to be reached all over the place. Now I'm gonna jump in real fast. Like, I just saw this statistic that now half of the world's population are gamers. Like, half of the world, which is, to me, that is wild. It has to be accurate. It has to be accurate.
And I know it's been growing, but they just got to the point where, like, I can't even remember. I read it. Like, it just said, like, it had some better stats than I'm going to give you right now, but it's half the world are gamers. So if you think about that, like, there are so many people out there that you can use gaming to reach them, to love them, and to let them know that Jesus loves them. So I'm super excited about the future of NCMS, as we are affectionately calling it, and how we can be a part of that, and how everyone else is going to be able to be a part of that. And we really want you all to be there. If it's, well, I'm going to say if it's in your area, but if you really want to be there, I won't tell you no.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing. It's like, we're marketing. Hey, what's up, Lux? That's Mark over at Lux Digital Church.
Yeah. 3.2.
Well, I think that's a completely arbitrary number, right? I think that it's more. I honestly think that it's more. Because if you really, really stop and think about it, almost every single person who has a device of some sort plays a game.
I know
Wordle.
That.
Dude, we were playing Wordle like crazy last year.
It's true.
Actually, I think this is about the time I stopped playing it, because I'm not getting any more Facebook reminders of my posts. And so I think that was where I finally trailed off. But this idea of like play and engaging in fun, and as my pastor said when we were doing a series on it, recreating, not recreating, but recreating, like the engaging in recreation. Like, there's beauty in that, and we have a ton of stuff on our website, lovelinerd.com. Go check it out. But like, there is joy in that, and we want to help you understand what we're not saying. And I don't think what we will probably ever advocate, that's a really big superlative I just dropped there, but we're not saying find a way to turn everything into a flannel graph, right? Like, let me tell you who the Jesus character in this story is. Like, that's not what we're saying. We're trying to give you an opportunity to create space in between so that church culture and nerd culture can coexist. And if it's a Marvel movie, cool. If it's a video game, cool.
If it's flannel graphs, that's fine.
It's always flannel graphs.
Oh man,
it's Agatha all along.
It's color forms. I always loved color forms growing up.
What's a color form? You trying to say chloroform?
No, it's kind of like it's like reusable plastic stickers. Like, think flannel graph, but with like stickers almost. Okay, all
right. Were they like Klingon? Like Klingon? You couldn't see them.
Yeah, they're Klingons. Yeah. But they're color forms. I don't know. Look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie's color form city.
I read that as Charlie's chloroform city. That's what I read.
Color forms.
That's a memory I don't have, man. I don't have those.
Did I have one from Mask? No, I had the Spider-Man one right here. For sure I did. Oh man. So you like, there's usually a city scene. We're off topic now. There's like a city scene. Hold it up? Yeah. And you can like, here it is. And you can like, you can make a scene out of these stickers, but the stickers are reusable. Yeah. You can peel them and stick them, and usually they have like Spider-Man has their poses. Like,
are they see-through or are they like white stickers? stickers. They're clings.
They're not see-through. No, here, just go ahead. I'm gonna put in the chat. There you go. That's a long link there for you.
Oh my gosh, bro! Look at that.
I added some letters.
Showed up on the stream.
I don't know if I had this exact one, but like there was one sort of
it's too much chloroform. I'm gonna click it.
Well, that's definitely
There's
not
the stream, everybody. Yeah. Oh, $30. That's a deal.
No, I had like, there's a Ninja Turtles one.
Yeah, those are stickers.
Batman. They're not stickers.
They're not stickers.
But they're like, oh my gosh, just like type in chloroforms. The original classic chloroforms, fun, retro, re-stickable. So like they're like re-stickable stickers.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I had some Ninja Turtles. I think that's what I had.
Yeah. I think you probably did. This one. Anyways, look it up if it interests
Holly
you.
Hobby. Holly Hobby, though. Yeah, absolutely. What were we talking about? How'd you get on?
Flannel graphs.
How'd you get on color forms?
Flannel graphs.
But anyway, so those are some of the things that we're trying to do with to push nerd culture ministry forward. And man, we cannot be responsible for all of it, and so we won't be. And we're going to need your help. We're going to ask you guys to do things that might make you, a little bit uncomfortable, but in the best way possible. So we're going to ask you to join us on trips. Come and hang out with us. We have a team that's going to Tantrum Con in one of the Carolinas, Mr. Carolina. Is it North Carolina?
South
Carolina. Got it. Yeah.
North Carolina.
It's whichever one the Panthers play in. North Carolina. There we go. They're going. Yeah. Trombone's going to be a part of that. Luke's leading a really great team over there. So we've got that one. We've got stuff in Wisconsin area. If you're, big old cheesehead.
Even if you're not,
we learned that at the same time, everybody and nobody owns the Packers in Wisconsin. Because what I understood was that it's like a publicly traded team. So like people, they own shares of the Packers. But I felt like everybody I asked was like, no, I don't own the Packers. No, I don't have one.
He's
the only person.
Well, we're not in Green. We weren't in Green Bay. That's the problem.
I don't even know where that is. I feel like it's made up. It's only on
Wisconsin or whatever.
Green Bay. You can only visit it on TV.
Prove it. Only if the Packers have a good season can you go there. It's like Shangri-La.
Yeah, I mean, Rosie, if that's something you could do, check it out. I think it's exclamation point on mission.
Give it a try.
I believe.
I keep reacting to the stream, just wondering what it's going to do later.
Yeah, there we go. Nothing.
I think we can see it later. Like moments we thought were like good, or they thought was good.
Clip it. So that's one there. And then we're going to actually Lux Digital Church. They are basically adopting Origins.
Yep.
In Columbus.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean they're the only ones that can go. Like if anybody else wants to join them, you're more than welcome.
They're
the only ones
for you.
Oh, okay. You have to pay Mark extra money. Like you
double the money.
Yeah. Can you juggle? Like what skills do you have? But anyway, like we've got a bunch of places that you can go and kind of be a part of it. And there are more trips that are on there. Gen Con, we've got Strong Tower Con. I mentioned that already. And then also PAX Unplugged. And so those are largely tabletop events because those are the best like in-person ways to do that mission. But we've got ways for you to like literally physically live out the loving and serving your nerdy neighbor mission. We have ways for you to do that.
Go big and you're invited just because St. Bear says
only Lux and Gabigan. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Strong Tower is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be as many as I can this year.
No, you won't. And we're also You're not going to hardly any of them. Don't even sit here and lie to these people.
I'm hoping to be at some.
Which ones do you think? Are you going to Origins? You going to Oranges?
I think so. I think I am.
Okay.
Yeah. JansCon?
I think you and I are doing JansCon.
Yeah, we'll do
Well,
JansCon
actually,
together.
that's gonna. I'll have to look. I just
let's
got
look right now.
Well, I just got an invitation, or at least an offer to go speak at that camp that I went to in Oregon, Camp Wainema. I was the missionary last year, and they asked. I don't think it's during JansCon, but I could be wrong.
How am I supposed to have? I don't have like a +1.
Skype me in, man.
Yeah, I'm doing wrist surgery con. Here's the thing. I'm going to have my surgery at the end of February on the 24th. And then I have a week of recovery time. And then that's next Sunday. I go to Florida and Bubba and I are going to be at this church planning conference, Exponential. Is that what it's called? I keep saying the wrong one. And then I have another little bit off and then something else happens. What happens after that? I don't know.
Christmas.
Oh no, we're going to PAX East. You and I are.
Oh, I thought you said that already. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No. Surgery, week off, Exponential, week off, PAX East.
Yeah.
Sometime
Ulna Reduction Con.
Yeah. Who's okay here? Sound. Oh, don't get out of here, brother Mod. Not interested. I'm not going to that.
Hey man.
Hey, sound off in the chat if you are going to PAX East or Exponential in Orlando. I know Mike Sell's going to be there. I think St. Bear's going to be at Exponential as well. We'd love to say hello and meet up with you.
Save point. We are on the docket, like on our website, for 5 this year. That's what we're on the docket for. And then you add to that.
That's official. Yes.
Yeah, add to that the ones that that Matt and I are going to. Hey, Sunshine would like to know how your ear is, Matt.
It's much better. Thank you for asking. The double infection is gone. My eardrum has fully healed.
Yep.
If you don't like gross stuff, go ahead and mute me for about, we'll say 10 seconds. I just went to the ear doctor, the ENT, last week before, as like a final checkup. And she's like, wow, there's still some stuff in there. And she got these like scraper tweezer things and like a light and a magnifying glass. And she's like pulling things out of my ear.
Memories.
That's exactly what it was like. It was like a remember all, or what do you call it? It's just
insane
memory.
in the remembering. Yeah.
But it's much better now. And everyone's like, can you hear better after they pulled that stuff out? I was like, the same. Thanks for asking. No, it's the same. So much better. All the pain and wrath and malice though moved into my wrist, and I ripped.
That's right. Yeah.
I ripped a ligament on the side and partially tore one on top. And if things don't improve after the surgery, I have to have my ulna reduced. We talked about this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do they film this? I could have asked. I'm pretty. Well,
it's probably on TikTok somewhere.
I had ear surgery like 5 years ago, and the ENT was like, "You're going to be married to your ENT for the rest of your life." And I was like, "Heck, no, I'm not. No, I'm not." So the answer is I will be seeing my ENT a lot. So I think she probably would let me film it if I wanted to. Next time.
Oh, snaps. Nothing's going to keep this kid off the ice. Not one thing.
I almost played this last Sunday and I was like, I mean, it can't get any worse. Like
it absolutely can.
No, it can't. How's it going to get worse?
Yes, it can. You break your radius. You have to shave your radius.
The major pain, that's what's happening. I was really trying not to get like too deep into the details here. Because the ligament is torn on the side of my wrist, it's allowing my tendon to, it's not prolapse. It's another word that sounds like prolapse. It's moving around in there. So if I move my wrist too much, the tendon moves on top of my bone and then flips back and is extremely painful. So that's why I didn't play. It's not going to break it.
Okay.
I haven't played since October.
You're going to forget how. You better get out there.
My team keeps talking to me before games, and I'm like, I can't. I really want to. I was like, I just thought I'll just wear this brace under my glove, and
I'm telling you, Matt,
I will have no wrist shot. I will have nothing. Nothing.
Matt, come here. We've talked about this.
You're right.
We've talked about this.
I know.
You cast it, and then you just put a hole for the stick and you tape it around.
I know. I thought about this.
And then you just go out there and swing your whole hand around. Okay, you can scoot back now.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's going to be about a 6-week recovery. And then that's how long, because they're going to put me in this brace that's called a Bledsoe brace. And
Drew Bledsoe?
That's what I thought too. Yeah. First it'll be locked at like a 90 degree, and like they'll crank it out. So eventually my arm will start like.
Which I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to see this. I can't wait
to like sleep like with that on there.
You're just like stuck in different positions of domo arigato.
The other day I was like, Bubba, I hope you're like cool with putting deodorant on for me when we're in Florida. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do it. But then Erin later reported, she's like, okay, so I went in the bathroom when I put my deodorant on today. You can put deodorant on with one hand to both armpits. And I was like, yeah, that's good. I tried today and it worked pretty well.
I almost just tried in front of everybody, and I'm not going to, but I think I could do it.
It's like, yeah, I got it.
Here's the deal.
There we go.
Just get the, do they still do the deodorant in the spray can?
I thought about that too. Or like a big stick or something.
Stick.
See, everyone try it. Yeah.
That's the thing. Let me get a 5 in chat if you were able to do it.
Yeah, please. Give me an armpit
with your dominant hand. With your look, I'm
no, I'm right-handed, and I won't like.
Same.
That's my wrist hand. Like that's my surgery hand. I
can't
my
wrist
do it this one. Yeah, thank you. Like this hand can get both sides pretty well, and then also like things like brushing my teeth. Now I can brush my teeth, but putting the toothpaste on my toothbrush, it's going to be a challenge.
We're going to pull your teeth.
I'm wondering because like after the surgery, like they're going to be wrapping me down here. I'll be in a splint. I don't know how much finger movement I'm going to have. Will I have anything?
Matt, all you're worried about is brushing your teeth?
Exactly.
Here's the thing.
Okay. Weird. I tried it. You can do it.
Here's the thing. Actually, my left hand, we've been talking about Matt for a long time, and we will continue to talk about him because Thray is right. We need to Bubba boy this guy. Just put him in an enclosure and let nothing get to you.
God, I'm sorry. That's awful.
But 4 bones? No, thank you.
I don't like that. Oh man.
Yo, Radio Matt with those 29
Matt, what's happening?
But my left, this right here, tendon on the radius side of things. Mm-hmm. So actually the opposite, 100% opposite of what Matt's got. He's got right hand ulna. I've got left hand radius.
And so between the two of them, they lick the platter clean.
I was going to say with our powers combined, we are Captain Planet. But
I'm hungry.
You went a different route with that, and I appreciate that. Put the toothbrush on the table. This is what I was going to get at.
I've tried it, and it moves too much. So I could just put it in my armpit, and like, no, I can't. Other armpit.
Matt, they make toothbrushes that like you just clamp down on, and it does all the work.
What?
It's like shaped like the curve of your mouth. You just clamp down on it, and it just does all the work. Just do that.
I don't know.
I will say this.
Oral B.
Because, well, you're gonna have to go oral, E, F, or G. Okay, yeah. Elemento P. With my left hand being as hurt as it was, like I had 0 range of motion last week. As a righty, I made a joke. I was like, man, I probably couldn't do anything with my left hand. It's worthless. Might as well just cut it off. I do so much with my left hand. I mean, so much. And you don't notice it until you can't use it.
Oh, you're big.
I do most everything. Most everything with my left hand. It's nuts.
It can be a cow too.
Matt wants a bluey one. If it ain't bluey, he doesn't care.
Actually, this is brilliant. Like, so hold on. Do you just put the toothpaste on the little thing?
Yeah, and it's battery powered, and you just click it and it goes.
For how long? 2 minutes?
Days, if you want it.
That's 10 times too long.
Yeah, it sings "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus, and by the time it's over, you get a squeaky clean mouth.
God, I have just to make sure I could, and everything's okay. And be wiper.
It's just a bidet at that point. Just get a bidet and be done with it.
I actually thought about asking Aaron
bidet
to
and be done.
I know that I'm like overthinking all this, but I don't know. Just things that wake you up at night. Like, and okay, here's the question, and you all can check and sound off. So I'm flying a few times the next month. am I one of the people that when they say, if you need extra time, am I that person now? Like, I'm not going to be able, I promise you, I'm not going to be able to lift my luggage up and put it in the bin with one hand.
Oh, you're going to have to check luggage.
No, I'm not checking luggage, dude. I'm not
out of self-defense.
Talk to your doctor. It's right. I know. They're supposed to call me.
Consult your physician.
Take advantage. Oh, wait. Todd, you're saying no, I'm not that person?
He's saying you are a strong man. You don't need it. You don't need anybody's help, okay?
I know I can do it. But there's
and Radio Matt, on the other hand, is like, take advantage of absolutely every opportunity given to you.
Even just like 2 days ago, Aaron was like, hey, we're not going to use all those green onions. Will you put them in this water over here so that they don't go bad? And I grabbed them, and my hand would not twist to put it in the cup in the right direction. I was like, I can't. I can't. Can you? Let's show me if you can.
No more green onions. Sorry.
No, I bought them.
Isn't that the weirdest thing? Like same basic thing was happening to me when I had zero range of motion. I tried to open the coffee bag and I was like, we're never drinking coffee again. My left hand could not squeeze hard enough to
What happened to you?
I slept on it wrong. That's exactly what happened. I went to bed one night, normal human being.
At least
I woke up, half a man. Like
okay. Right, you're right.
Oh, it twinged, dude. It sucked, but it's good now. It's starting to. I have a lot more. I'm about 85% on my range of motion.
85 is pretty good. 85.
Yeah, I don't want to brag or anything, but
I actually didn't think about this. Cabin pressure on my wounds. I'm actually more concerned that my ear is gonna like mess up again. Am I driving everywhere forevermore? That doesn't work. It just keeps all the pressure in. I have neutral pressure. I have neutral pressure behind my eardrum. That's bad. People, you don't want that. Negative pressure. I have negative pressure behind my eardrum.
Like a black hole?
Yeah, suck you right in. Plug every orifice.
All of them.
No. Anyways, stay tuned in weeks to come for Tales of Woe by Matt and Bubba and the other tomatoes. Make sure you drink your Ovaltine. I saw that. Jeremy Renner, 30 broken bones.
Yeah, dude. Did you like the more that came out about that? This is fine because we're not going to talk about it on Free Play. We have so many other things to talk about.
So many.
Like the more that came out about that, like he was like rescuing his son from, he was being a real life Avenger, right? Doing the superhero thing. And just that's gnarly, dude. A snowmobile? Those things are not light. That's not messing around.
No, they're scary.
Yeah.
To ride on too.
And then, I mean, I don't want to say he's fine, but he is.
He's recovering.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Matt, I'm basically going to be a bucket of goo at this point.
Yeah. Big old bucket of goo.
I feel like after this, I'm hoping things just kind of level out. No more anythings, please.
None more.
No, okay. So they are fun, but they're just a little scary. There's just like so much power in them. Like I would rather drive and ride on a snowmobile than like a 4-wheeler or like a 3-wheeler. People still have 3-wheelers. I don't know. But yeah,
huddle person like Alex Mack. Yes.
No, I think I like Matt and Bubba in the Morning Part 2, Return of the Use. Or how about Secret of the Use, like Turtles 2?
We love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Is what it is that we're doing here at Love Thy Nerd, this nerd culture ministry thing. We hope you enjoy this short peek behind the curtain on what it means to us to be a part of this and to be able to do it with people that are like-minded and similarly goal-oriented as we are. So, Hey, we love you. And above all else, if no one else tells you this, we want you to know that it's true. Jesus loves you, nerds. Bye.